If you have enabled the time serving size option in the Setup Options page, you will have a button called Adjust Serving Sizes. If you have this button, press it. From the screen, you can set the amount of time flavorings or mix-ins will be dispensed from each of the serving sizes offered: small, medium, large, or extra large. When a serving size is complete, depending on the amount of time that you've set for that particular size, the flavorings or mix-ins will stop dispensing and the operator will get a notice on the touchscreen that the serving is complete. You will need to experiment to see what timing works best for you. If your equipment has a flow rate adjustment, which is usually a thumb screw on the draw handle, you will first want to set the flow rate to an acceptable flow rate before you determine how long to set the time for each serving size. Again, you will need to experiment to see what works best for your particular needs. Note that with this feature, the default setting is medium. So, if the time serving size feature is enabled and the operator does not make a serving size selection, the flavoring or mix-ins will dispense for the amount of time set for the medium serving size. Now let's press the back button to return to the maintenance menu. Now, let's press the timing settings button. This screen can be a little bit confusing. On the screen you have two settings. First, you can select the alternating selections dispense time. This is the amount of time a selected flavor is dispensed until the next selected flavor is dispensed. So, let's say you have selected both chocolate and cherry. If this is set at 2 seconds, chocolate will run for 2 seconds, and then cherry will run for 2 seconds, and then it will start back over with chocolate for 2 seconds, and then cherry for 2 seconds, and it goes on until the serving is complete. The second setting is the end of the serving delay. Note that this only applies if you are running FCB auto dispense mode, which only applies to the FCB frozen carbonated beverage units, or if you have enabled the serving size feature. If you're not using one of these two options, this setting is irrelevant to you. What this timing setting does is that it sets an amount of time at the end of the serving that no flavor is dispensed. In the auto dispense mode, after the serving is complete, it will run for an amount of time that you've set here without serving any flavor before it shuts off automatically. In the serving size mode, after the serving is complete, it will run for the amount of time you've set here, and then it will tell you when the serving is complete. The purpose for stopping the flow of syrup a set amount of time before the serving is complete is to purge the flavor from the injector head so that the next serving does not have any residual syrup or mix-ins in it. For FCB product, this time should be between 0 and 1 second. For standard soft serve and shake units, usually 1 to 2 seconds is adequate. For the mix-in unit, you will probably want to set this between 2 and 3 seconds. If you are using one of these two modes, try different settings to see which works best for you. When done with the screen, press Done to return to the home screen, or Back to return to the maintenance screen. Let's select Back to see what other maintenance options we have. Press the Serving Counter button. On this screen, you will see the amount of servings you've served since you've last reset it. Note that this can possibly be reset when you update your firmware. Now let's press the Back button to return to the previous screen. If you have the Water Syrup Flush button shown on your screen, press Water Syrup Flush. From this screen, you can perform the flushing functions. Make sure to read your manual for a proper cleaning schedule and more specific instructions on how to do this. But just as a quick overview, you attach the flush connector to a particular syrup line, then press the button corresponding to the flavor used in that syrup line. It will then allow you to start and stop the flushing of the water from the sanitizer tank through the syrup line. When done with that particular line, press the Back button. The top button on the screen is the Injector Flush button. This flushes water through the injector head to clean it out. The one exception to this is if you've enabled the FCB Purge option for FCB units. In this case, it will run air through the line. Now, let's press the Back button to return to the maintenance screen. If you have the Prime Syrup button shown on your screen, press it now. From this screen, you can prime syrup through each pump to the spout. Normally you would do this after you've flushed a syrup line, or in the case where you've had syrup sitting in a line for quite a while. If syrup remains in a syrup line for too long, it can lose its flavor intensity. So if it's been there for a few days without having served a particular flavor, you may want to prime some fresh syrup up to the spout. Simply, just select the flavor you want to prime to the spout. It will automatically start priming the flavor. Once done, just press that button again. Now, let's press done and we'll see what the touchscreen looks like. As you can see, the done button takes you right to the home screen. Now, we can see from this screen that the injector flush button is shown because we enabled it in the setup options screen. Also shown are the serving sizes: small, medium, large, and extra large. And medium is shown as the default size. If we had enabled the self-serve mode, you would not have seen these serving sizes, but instead you would see an instruction to make some selections. Also, if the self-serve mode were enabled, you would not see the setup button in the upper left-hand corner, but it would be accessible by pressing in that location. If we had enabled the dispense instruction screen, you would see a next button in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. You would also see this if we had selected the FCB Auto Dispense Mode feature. As you can see, this touchscreen has been designed to be very user-friendly, but also has been designed to be very customizable to your particular store's needs and environment. We hope that this tutorial has been very helpful to you. As always, if you have any questions, please contact your Flavor Burst distributor, or you can contact Flavor Burst Company directly.